Okay, good morning, everyone. The time is now 10:04 a.m. We'll go ahead and begin with the pre-bid conference. Just for the record, this pre-bid conference is being recorded so that we will upload it to our website for all attendees to refer back to later. With me this morning, I have two of our GHURA staff. My name is Greta Balmeo. With me is Ms. Felisa Nicholas, and behind me is Mr. Sunny Perez, our engineer. For the record, could I just go ahead and have each participant state their name and the company?
My name is Sedfree Ginsangan. I'm the president of Guam Pacific Enterprise Incorporated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Name George from GMI Edison.
Another one is, good morning. This is Gin Bangayan of JMB Modern Tech.
Eleanor Lujan Tilvis with Docomo Pacific.
Good morning, everyone. This is Carrier Guam, Arnel Francisco.
Reynold Leong with Checkpoint International.
Good morning. Daryl Lagman from JNB Modern Tech.
Good morning. This is Jerry White from Inland Builders.
Okay, any other participants? I see NDC, iPhone, Joanne Pangilinan, and Dexter and
Good morning. This is Joanne Pangilinan from MJM International.
thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
Hello, this is Dexter with JWS.
Okay, and I guess NDC iPhone is non-responsive, but they are online. Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue on with the pre-bid conference. All the attendance and the pre-bid minutes will be provided after the pre-bid conference is completed today.
There you go. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Okay. Yeah, this is Nelson Del Carmen, Inland Builders. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'll begin the pre-bid conference with going over some housekeeping in terms of the procurement process, go over the administrative requirements, and I'll just briefly touch base on the required documents as well as additional information that wasn't originally provided in the IFB. Okay, so please keep in mind going over the deadlines. Bids must be received at the Sinahanya main office no later than 10 a.m. on Tuesday, November 30th. Vendors, please allow yourselves ample time to submit your bids. Parking is limited between activities with the main office, our Section 8 division, and the mayor's office. And there's been a lot of activity going on with the completion of the art center next door. So please allow yourselves that extra time to submit your bid. Due to COVID-19, there are social distancing practices in place. Any persons entering the GHURA main office are required to wash their hands and have their temperature measured upon entering the premises. When submitting your bid, please keep in mind that all submissions have your personnel complete and sign up on our bid submission sheet. And also to ensure that they submit the bid registration form, which is also available on our website. This may be submitted via email or in person. Even if the bid payment is not going to be made at the same time, the bid registration form is not going to be completed. Please have that submitted to me for my record in the event that any addendum is released or changes to the IFB are made. I can make sure I disseminate that information directly to you. So the non-refundable $50 registration fee is required for your bid to be considered valid, and this must be made by the bid due date. It can also be made prior to the bid due date, and you may call my direct line 475-1356 to coordinate the payment here at the main office in Sinahanya. Any correspondence pertaining to the IFB or any questions or clarifications you may inquire on, please address it to our executive director, Mr. Ray Tapasya. He is GHURA's contracting officer, and you may attention it to myself, Greta Balmeo. I am the procurement staff for GHURA. I will also be the point of contact for all inquiries and requests pertaining to the IFB process. Any questions, please submit them in writing, or we'll provide a response in black and white just to make sure we have both sides covered, and that you know what is in writing is what will prevail for this IFB. And any responses we issue, they will be issued through an addendum. Okay, going on to administrative requirements. This is an all or none bid. Bidders are required to quote on all items. GHURA maintains the right to award the bids to the lowest responsible bidder. Going over the procurement schedule real quickly, this bid was available as of October 28th. Today is the pre-bid conference at 10 a.m. via Zoom. The deadline for all bidders and vendors to submit questions is by Friday, November 12th, 5 p.m. Once you receive all questions and clarifications, GHURA will take some time to review and prepare our responses accordingly, and we will issue our responses by Wednesday, November 17, 2021 by 5 p.m. And then 1 week after, the bid will close on Wednesday, November 24, 2021 at 10 a.m. This may be subject to change dependent upon any request for extensions. Okay, so the bid advertisement, registration forms, specifications, and any additional bid information, it's all available on GHURA's website. In submitting your bid on the bid due date, contractors will need to submit one original copy, one copy, and one PDF on a USB, which the USB thumb drive or hard drive will be returned once the PDF files are transferred over, and we can coordinate the pickup of those items. Any bids received will be disqualified or rejected if they are late, they're non-compliant, incomplete, or unclear in their submissions. So please ensure that your bids that are submitted have complete information, they're accurate, and are specific when submitting your bids, so that our staff can review accordingly all the details and specifications of your items being submitted. Payment terms for the air disinfection systems are on a net 30 basis. Once the equipment are installed and functioning properly and the invoices are submitted and certified, our accounting division will process payment accordingly. I would also like to note that the funding for these items will be paid for with federal CARES funding. And so that will be the basis for the funding source for these equipment items. Going on to the required documents for the submissions. All submissions must contain and submit a copy of their current business license, complete and submit the contact for contract administration form, provide a bid bond in the amount of 15%. We accept cash or check, insurance by a surety company, as long as they are listed on the U.S. Treasury to do business with Guam. Also complete and submit disclosure of organizational conflict of interest affidavit, sign off on the HUD form 5369C. There's also additional HUD forms for each bidder to review and look over to give more information on the IFB process. Also, included are the AG forms 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These will need to be notarized as well. AG form 6, the wage determination rates will need to be attached as well. Please include brochures and descriptive literature for the items you will be submitting your bids on. The more information we receive, the better for us to conduct our evaluation for the items. And then please complete the vendor bid form. There are a total of 2 bid items. Bid item number 1 is for UV air disinfection systems. These are ceiling mounts. A total quantity needed are 12. And then bid item number 2, UV air disinfection systems that are wall mounted. A total quantity of 27. I'd like to note that there is a correction to the bid form because on page 8, the quantity for bid item number 2 reflects 27. That is the correct amount. So I'll revise the bid price form and issue an addendum with the correct form for the bid price form. Again, the correct item for quantity for bid item number 2 is 27, not 17. Okay, and then also include in your bid submissions any and all addendums that are issued for this IFB. Okay, and then I'll just share my screen for a quick minute here because I know some of you may want to do site visits to take a look at the properties and where the units will be installed. 1 second.
Monitor, mag-i-contact na po kami ng station para magamit po din sa canopy na po. Thank you po.
Oh,
Can we
sorry.
Sorry.
Does everyone see the Word document? It has the point of contact for each site and then a breakdown of the UV air disinfection systems per site. So this will be disseminated to all participants in today's bid. Are there any questions at this time? Any technical questions, please submit them in
Yes.
writing. I can address any administrative questions right now.
Yeah, I have a question, Ms. Balmayo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, first of all, since there's no provision in the bid that provides the Buy American Act or Made in America, since I believe this is a federal financial assistance award.
Correct.
Second,
The only funding, not the only funding, but the funding source that would require us to stipulate that it must be US made is ARA funds. This is not ARA funded, this is CARES funding. So there's no requirement that these items or the equipment have to be US manufactured.
I disagree. Because of the President Biden's executive order in January regarding Made in America products and equipment. And together with the President Trump's executive order. Please have this reviewed by your legal. And the second is the 15% bid bond. Since this is GHURA is subsidized by federal funds, especially for this project, the 15% bid bond should not be applied because it is in violation of the Section 1 of the executive order of President Biden on the policy. You know, just to let you know, prior to your appointment, when Director Topasta is still the Deputy Director and Mr. Lastimosa is the Purchasing Manager, GHURA does not require bid bond at all, the 15%, because it is subsidized by federal government. Because this is a burden to a small business that would like to participate. And that's why I want you to relay this, my concern to your legal, because this is a major issue. The local law, this is the 15% bid ban will not apply because the federal law supersede the local law. And also I know you cannot answer it right away, but I want you to relay that. And
Okay,
then
yes.
the third question is the delivery. You know, agency should not be imposing the delivery date required because you don't have any information on about our supplier that would fabricate the product. How you come out with 45 days delivery, which is unacceptable or cannot be reached. You need to make it open, just like other agency like GWA, GMH, and other agency. You need to let the vendor specify our offer delivery, not the agency imposing it, because that would be subject to manipulation or corruption. You know, it should be the vendor placing their delivery, not the agency. And also, if I could add, just 45 days is cannot be met by all manufacturers, especially there's a shortage of component and the volume of business they're getting because of these federal funds. So this is a major issue too. And then the other one is there's no dispute clause in your provision. You know, in case somebody appeal, there's no dispute clause on the proper method on how to appeal to the OPA. You need to put that in your provision. And then also there's no provision for the service disabled veteran-owned and woman business veteran-owned, which we have a certain privilege because I am a veteran. You know, it needs to be incorporated to all government provision. And then also who will evaluate the bid? That's one of my main question. Because you cannot, if you don't have engineering background, it's very hard for even though you're a buyer and you don't have degree in engineering or architectural, it's very hard for an experienced buyer whose only experience is administrative and reading books and paperwork to absorb the substance of the products that we are offering. You know, this one is needs to be or evaluated by the engineer or architect, and then he'll be the one to make that proposal to the buyer. You know, you cannot just let the buyer do their own evaluation, especially if they don't have background. And also if you have any shop drawing or plan, and because so that we don't have to undergo site visit. But as I read the bid, it is specified that even standalone equipment can be proposed. You know, because if that's the case, then if I offer standalone equipment, then I don't need to see the plan or to make a site visit. Because if you're looking for a ceiling type, is your aircon ducted? Do you have ceiling there, or is your aircon split type? If your aircon are just split type on all the GHURA, then all you need is standalone equipment. You know, that's my my concern, and I hope I will incorporate that into your writing, because my concerns are very serious, especially the 15% bid ban and the delivery, which some of the agency are manipulating and trying to hurt the vendors by applying the liquidated damage when they cannot meet the delivery, and they don't meet the delivery. And then what happened? The vendor pay for the interest. And the other strategy that the vendors are doing is market up higher, because you guys are imposing unreasonable delivery that you don't even have any information of. You know, that's against the procurement law, because you are not attracting more vendors to participate because the provisions are unfriendly. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Linsangan. Yes, please, if you can submit your questions and your concerns in writing. I did note them down, but just to make sure I address them all, if you can submit them in writing. Your questions do pertain a lot of the administrative requirements. I will review that with our legal counsel and then definitely get back to you with a proper response for that.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Balmeo.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions or concerns? Again, any technical questions, please submit them in writing. I'll have our A&E division review them.
Hi,
Yes,
yes, I
yes.
have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we gonna take turns?
Yes,
Yes.
whoever- yeah.
Go ahead, Eleanor.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Question, will GHURA, once the award is made, will GHURA be responsible for mounting the devices themselves? Or will it be the vendor that is required?
Can you repeat that? Will GHURA be responsible for?
Mounting the devices themselves?
No,
Or
no,
will it be the vendor's responsibility?
the vendor will be the one to install and mount the devices.
Okay, next question I have is on section G where it says one original, one copy, and one USB. Does it have to be a USB or can it be placed on a disk?
It can be placed on a disk as long as I'm able to retrieve it and transfer over the file to my computer system.
Okay, and then one more thing. Do we need to make an appointment to come in and make the submission and pay the $50? And if so,
No
what was the? We could just walk in.
Yes, I know prior, a few months ago, we were still under certain PCOR conditions and we weren't open to the public. So we were only able to accommodate appointments. But we are back to accepting walk-ins and we're fully open. So walk-ins, or if you can call just in ahead of time so I can make sure I'm available to receive payments. And
Okay, I didn't catch that number. Could you just repeat it one more time?
Sure, my direct line is 475-1356.
Okay, and one last question. You were showing us the location of the site visits, the POCs.
Yes.
Now, is that okay, so will you be providing that as well, correct?
Yes, I'll provide it together with the meeting minutes that I'll issue out later today.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Elmer. Okay, Mr. Jerry, questions?
Yes, hi. Thank you very much for this opportunity and good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, a couple of questions. Now one of the requirements for the specs asks for a balanced warranty of 15 years. Now, is this a mistake between 5 years or are you guys requiring 15 years warranty?
I'll review that with our A&E division, sir. Yeah, I believe it is for the 15 years. I'll just have to confirm with them as to the reasoning behind the 15 years for the warranty.
Yeah, I am not sure which company can provide a warranty for the ballast for 15 years. That is a tremendous amount of years to be covering the UVC, the lamps. When the UVC lamp itself is for 2 years or 17,000 hours, but the ballast is 15 years, that does not match the specs between the items being requested at this time.
Okay, I'll confer with our A&E division for that.
Oh, okay. And also, additionally, the specified locations for number A bid for the AMP4 location and also the Yosenehanya main office of 10 units. Now, would you be able to give us off top of your head, are all your offices, are they HVAC systems, ducted system? Is that why you guys are requiring ducting UVC systems here?
Yeah, so for the most part, for the Yosenehanya main office, we have a drop ceiling. They're HVAC systems. As far as the AMP sites though, not all areas have drop ceilings. AMP4 is the only one to have partial area. The rest are all concrete. There's no drop ceiling.
So no, what I mean is, do you guys have how many HVAC systems? If I may re-ask my question, how many HVAC systems do you have at all these locations?
We'll provide that. I'll have to double check with all the sites.
Okay, so following the same question, but if you do have the HVAC systems, will you still require 10 units of what you are asking or specifying? Because depending on what you have, some of the units may not require 10 units, for instance. Depending on the size of your HVAC units, it may not require 10. This is kind of, is it okay if we provide less upon what is needed? We need to inspect, of course, the facility and the HVAC system, but once we have the specs on your HVAC system, we'll be able to calculate how many units you may require to install that.
We will be sticking with the quantity required for each site.
So even though you may not need 10 units, you want to be delivered 10 units and have a quote for 10 units when it may require only 5 or 6.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Perhaps if you came in for a site visit and to take a look how the HVAC system is here for our main office and the other sites as well. We have different divisions, and to ensure, with comfortability for staff, to ensure that, the air that they're sitting in, working in for 8 or more hours a day, that, it's a safe environment for them.
Oh, of course, no, that's our main thing for providing a disinfection system. But for instance, so the AMP4 location, this is also an induct system. Is that what you are specifying here?
I believe partial. If not, they have split AC systems throughout the office site.
I see. But when you are requiring on your specs to be ceiling mounted, it usually means induct system. So whether it's induct or not, you would like to have a ceiling mounted system.
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Yes. And also on number 8, you guys are requiring two basic prices. You mentioned basic and alternate. So will this be considered for bid number A? You would want a price for your system, and alternate would be bid number B for the 27 units. Are those the 2 item prices requested, or would you like 2 prices for bid A and 2 prices for bid B?
May I clarify which page you're referring to?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's yes, number 9 on page 12.
Page 12.
Yes.
I see. Yeah, this will need to be revised. It will only accept the base bid item.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
The verbiage here will be revised. We will only be accepting the base bid item. No, we won't be accepting any alternate bids.
No, I mean, not an ultimate bid, but an alternate price. Because if you have different equipment suited for different areas, for instance, you had just mentioned that the AMP4 is partial HVAC versus your Sinahanya main office is fully HVAC system. Therefore, we can actually provide different items for different rooms according to the needs after we actually do the inspection. So what you have here is actually this is a very well being able to provide a basic and an alternate. This will give you more advantage as far as specs. As being able to purchase different products. That is actually a good thing. So I wanted to confirm that instead of you changing that.
No, well, yeah, we'll just keep it to the basic item. We won't accept any alternate for the most part, because all the ceiling mounts will just be located here at the main office, and it's the same system we have here. For the 2 ceiling mounts that will be at 4, it's actually the largest site-based office of all the other apps. So they would be able to accommodate the ceiling mount.
I see. Okay, so yeah, we would actually have to inspect the locations in order to give you guys the best information and the specs provided. So I'm sorry if the same on the page, not page, but number 21, I'm sorry, on page 14. I guess if it's not crossed or check marked, we don't need to provide samples. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. Only the
So
check
it's
mark items will apply.
Okay, and also lastly, for the 45 days delivery and installation where Mr. Setfree had mentioned, but this is also 45 days within the delivery and installation installed.
Yes, I just want to mention this throughout all our other bids that we solicit for are basic, and this, of course, has been the standard pre-COVID. It's the 45-day window. We understand there are restrictions placed due to COVID with, contacting suppliers, manufacturers from the mainland, delays in delivery. But we kept our standard schedule. We encourage our vendors, if they're experiencing those hardships, that they let us know so that we can accommodate it on our side.
Yeah,
in past bids for like IT equipment, for example, we've extended from the 45 days up to 120 days. So
I see, because of the bid duration that we're actually approaching end of November, then you know that people are sending things on Amazon and shipping all over around the world. So if we are getting some of the shipping items, it may be delayed. Number one, as soon as we can actually get the shipping, we will be able to install it. But there is a possibility of delay in the shipping, as everybody knows it right now. It takes maybe 6 to 8 weeks for delivery sometimes, just to Guam, because it may come from the US or other destinations, but it takes a long time. So 45 days is actually cutting it pretty close in even receiving the product, and then installation for a couple of days.
It's not cutting it close. I don't think we want to make it. 45 days is very tough to meet.
So yeah, I think there should be a little clause as far as upon arrival of the product on Guam, that is when we will be able to install. That we have no control over.
okay, maybe if we could do it this way, where if any of the contractors, vendors needed to do site visit, do their assessments of the sites, and they can get in contact with their suppliers, and kind of get a gauge of what the timeline would be for delivery of the equipment, and then submit a request for an extension for the delivery. It could be up to 120 days, could be longer, but submit in writing, and then GHURA will take into consideration. And of course, in the event it does go beyond the requested extension, as long as our awarded contractor bidder provides evidence and documentation that they're doing their due diligence on their part, that orders have been placed and it's due to a manufacturer delay in delivery. Of course, we can't fault our bidders and our contractors for that. It's it's out of their hands. So yes, if that's the situation, we just want to put it in writing, and then we'll make those accommodations.
Thank you very much. That'll be my questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jerry. Any other questions from any other contractor bidder?
Yeah, I got one question. Are the site visits, do we schedule the site visits ourselves, or is there a scheduled site visit for each site?
Yes, for the site visits, you may contact and it's per request as site visit as request. Yes.
Okay, so we can request for a site visit tomorrow.
Correct. Yes.
Right? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions?
If there's no more questions from the participants, can I ask my one last question?
Yes, sir.
Only if there's if Mr. Bangayan would like to ask something. Okay, that's the case. My question, Ms. Balmeo, is the $50 fee for the bid packet. Almost all of the agency are not charging the fee if we download it in the PDF file. So why would GHURA do that kind of imposing a $50 fee? It is unreasonable. Especially, it's you don't have any expenses anymore. We got so many expenses doing this bid. The notary costs us almost $100. Then the bid ban, in case we have a disagreement with your legal, that is not required, the bid ban fees again, and so many things. So you have to take it out, just like the previous administration when Mr. Lastimosa is still the procurement officer. $50 is just not very close to how much pages or your, we're not getting it physically, the bid. If we get it physically, then you charge us. But $50 is still too big. If we download it in the PDF file, then it's free. That's how it works with all the government agency. Why would GHURA do that kind of thing when it's funded by federal government to help the small business owners? Most of the business here in Guam are small business owners. That's very unacceptable. And especially it's funded by the federal government. And contrary to the policy of the Made in America, an executive order by President Biden to give opportunities to all small business owners, to participate on the bid without burdening them on so many conditions. Because in the executive order, there are waivers that the administrative procedures can be waived or exempted from such expenses, especially the bid ban. And the last thing is, if I may, you need to let us open our delivery date, not impose any delivery date, because we have different manufacturers. And then you decide, you evaluate, before, or else you'll be siding with, it could, just like what I said, it could be open for corruption, because you guys don't have any information. How could you come up with 45 days? You don't even coordinate with the suppliers in the mainland. And then you will disqualify people with, or vendors with 60-day delivery, or 80 days delivery, or 90 days, and give it to somebody with because he's willing to take the risk of 45 days. But how about if his price is higher, but he meet the delivery? There's so many angles that would hurt the vendors. That's why this delivery date needs to be offered by the vendors, not by GHURA. That's all. Thank you, Ms. Balmeo.
Thank you, Mr. Lansongan, for your additional concerns. As far as the bid fee, we're gonna keep that requirement. It's across the board for all bidders. Well, yes, we will keep it at $50.
Say it again. You will what?
We will keep the $50 bid registration fee as a requirement. So all bidders are able
I will appeal to the OPA.
I'm sorry?
If that's the case. I will appeal to the OPA if that's the case.
Okay.
You're the only one that charging the $50. It's even against the Guam procurement law. Why you charging $50 for something that we gotta undownload in the PDF file? Come on. We got so many expenses already. You relay it, don't just decide right away. Relay it to the director. This is beyond your control. This is the mayor. You don't just decide right away. You relay it to your supervisors.
Okay, sir. We'll take note of that. And then to address your other question for delivery, again, we're open to amending our delivery schedule based upon the request of all contractors and bidders. We would just need to receive a request in writing to consider an extension. Okay, and if there are any other questions, This will conclude our pre-bid conference. Again, the recording will be uploaded to our website for reference, and as well as I'll prepare and finalize the pre-bid minutes and disseminate to all attendees today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greta.
Everyone have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
everybody.
Thank you.
You
Thank you
too.
very much, Greta.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greta.
Thank you. Bye-bye.